okay, like we mentioned in our other videos, we had a long break. We were on hiatus for about almost a month, and in that time, Pope Francis passed away, and we got a new pope, Pope Leo the 14th, which is an awesome name. I mean, he's got a lot to live up to, and I just hope to the Lord Jesus that he
earns
does.
that name.
Pope Leo the 13th, man, he was huge on exorcism. He created a lot of exorcism prayers. So he was huge on the battle and the war against the devil himself.
Dang, that's dope.
Awesome pope, right?
Yeah.
Not another pope like him after that. And he was very against socialism.
Okay.
And he was for the human people, the rights of humans, and our freedoms,
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of significant, which I'll get into in a bit about this new pope.
Okay.
And the fact that he's American, which is pretty freaking
yes,
awesome. Which is pretty cool.
Caught
The
me
guy
off guard.
it's going to be cool to have a pope that speaks good English. It's pretty cool. But anyways, back to Pope Francis. So the thing with Pope Francis, man, is a lot of people, a lot of Catholics, like us, traditional Catholics, didn't like him. And I didn't like him.
I didn't care much for him.
Didn't, yeah.
I had
respect the guy, right?
Yeah. Of course, he's the Pope. Of course, you respect him. But
Yeah.
there was things that he did.
He did a lot of bad things
that I did not
agree with. Yeah. One of them is, and it is gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, is he was real back and forth with the whole gay community. He would say things that were like, we need to support them, and then there was rumors that he was gonna have them get married in the church and all this crazy stuff. That didn't happen because he kind of came back days later and was like, I didn't say that. This is not what I meant. And, so he was real back and forth when it came to the acceptance of gays in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And then, let's play devil's advocate here, no pun intended. There's a way of saying that, too, is saying that they could go to church. Their sin is their sin. They could confess. They are who they are. But you still can't get married within the church, and you can't. It's still against God's laws, for God's sake. It is what it is. And I know we have family members out there who are lesbian or gay, and we love them. I mean, I hug them.
Oh yeah.
That's why the term homophobe is stupid, because they could label us a homophobe, but we're not.
Yeah.
If I was a homophobe, I wouldn't even embrace our cousins or aunts or uncles, whoever's gay. We just don't agree with the lifestyle.
But we love them.
But we love them as the person.
That's a thing.
That's the beauty of our faith too, is that, and that's what it teaches. And I think that's what the Pope was trying to say, and he couldn't really say it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think he meant
kind
the
of
whole
all over the place.
This the whole term of love the sinner and not the sin.
Right.
And
exactly.
again, not all of us are perfect. We're all sinners.
Again, we don't have to give that whole speech again, but yeah. So that's where we stand when it comes to gay people and stuff, and I'm sorry for those out there listening to this, our loved ones out there, family who, and I'm pretty sure you guys know how we feel about that. And I don't want my son to be, first of all, he's a kid.
Yeah.
Once he's 18, who knows? As long as I do my job, I gotta do my job right. If I feel like if he goes another way, I didn't do my job as a father, I feel like a failure. That's just me. That's how I see things. But anywho, so he was like back and forth with the whole gay community.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, a lot of celebrities, a lot of bishops and priests that were accepting of the gay community were big fans of the Pope, and the Pope loved them. He was really against the bishops and the priests who were against the gay community.
Yes.
Like Bishop Strickland.
Yeah, there's that one right there.
That. He's an awesome bishop. Still is a bishop. He just can't. There's certain things he's not invited to, and he can't go to. So they didn't fully kick him out.
Okay. I thought he could please no longer.
He's still like, he's just like excommunicated to go to certain things or whatever.
Okay.
And he's the one that went to Bishop Strickland. He's the one that went on that parade against the Dodgers. Remember when the Dodgers were doing that with the sisters,
all right, yeah.
and the transgenders and all that garbage?
Yeah.
He was part of those parades that was against the pushback against the Dodgers doing that.
Which, if you literally look into the sisters, they are actually making fun of Christians and Catholic, especially the Catholic faith.
They're demons, dude. They're literally demons. They are literally. You look at them, they look like freaking demons.
And that's I guess that's what they're trying to do, but it's like.
So, anyways,
no bueno.
No bueno. So he was against that, and he was like one of the ones leading that march against the Dodgers and those transgenders.
Okay, cool.
Demons. So because of that, and that's what's kind of weird. Why did Pope Francis condemn Bishop Strickland, for doing that?
Yeah.
Strickland didn't hit anybody. He didn't say anything bad.
It was a true peaceful protest.
Exactly.
Anything.
There was no fights.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they still took him. They still kind of excommunicated him to do certain things within. I don't think he could run mass. That's one of them.
Are you
That's
serious?
The biggest one. I believe so. I could be wrong on that.
Wow.
So hopefully and here's the thing, this new pope kind of was one of the ones that voted to get Strickland out.
Yeah.
How I see it, and a lot of people see it, is maybe this pope had his hands tied and was like, if I want to get on the good side of the pope, I'm going to have to vote against Strickland.
Okay.
Kind of like kissing ass in a way.
I mean, you have to, and the thing too is you got to think of it as well. In a sense, whatever the pope says, that's law.
It goes. But then there's ones who are like us, traditional Catholics, Stricklands. You have other priests and bishops out there that kind of didn't agree with the Pope.
Yeah.
There was a division. There's literally, until this day right now, we'll see where this Pope stands, but there is literally a civil war within the Catholic faith and the Vatican.
The thing, I don't know if you have this or we were going to talk about this. The thing that really got me, that really just decided I was done with Pope Francis is when he did that ceremonial thing with those
the Pachamama.
Yes,
I'll get into that.
Okay, you are getting into that. Yeah, that was the one that I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
That's the one that opened my eyes to Pope Francis.
I'm done with this.
Yeah, that was like, okay, this is not really a man of God.
Yeah,
that was the one. Like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he was a globalist. He was part of that. He was part of that group. He was all for the global. He basically, with people who aren't part of the Catholic faith, when they talk bad about the Vatican and the popes, he kind of gave them more ammunition to that ammo. Ammo to more fuel to the fire.
All right.
He just made the Catholic faith look terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And some even considered him to be a Freemason. There's a lot of conspiracy that he was a Freemason.
Okay, I think I heard of that one.
He was big on the global warming agenda. He pushed that agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So he was part of that. Anything you could think of that was very leftist, he was part of.
Yeah.
He was a very, very leftist pope.
Mm-hmm.
Very untraditional. And then, like you were saying, he allowed false idols into the Vatican.
That was the one right there. Mm-hmm.
You guys look that up. I didn't pull it. Maybe you could go on Google real quick, man. You can pull that up. I don't know how to spell that stupid thing. Type in Vatican Pachamama. Spell it how you think it needs to be. Natives from, I think, Brazil or something. I mean, they were there in the Vatican, and go to images. They were doing chants and all this, and it was just a mess. Let's see if you can find that stupid idol.
No, I can't.
Pachimama. You did the Pachi.
Oh.
Pachi with the P.
Okay.
Oh, there it was right there. Go back. Right there, the last one.
There it is.
Okay, you could click that. There's a good representation of, or maybe that. See if you could bring that up. If you could zoom into that.
No.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
Scroll down. Okay. Now bring that up so the viewers can see that. For those who don't know, that's the Pachamama. That's the false idol. He had this big old ceremony. You could watch it on YouTube if you want. It's disgusting.
It is.
And it's very.
And you see a couple of priests and sisters shaking their heads.
Oh yeah, man. So that's the thing, and I think this was like in 2017 or 16 when he brought that out, and he invited all these tribal people doing their
yeah,
and all that stupid crap on Vatican grounds.
Yes,
that should
doing their chant of their deity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what. That's the thing.
Stupid and disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
He also another and here's part of that. Let me see where I could get to that. Yeah, okay. So another bad thing is that he made a deal with China. I don't know if you remember this one.
Okay.
So it was kind of because remember, he's a globalist. So he wanted to be on China's good graces and be on their side.
Okay.
The bad thing about that is he made a deal with China that allowed them to govern their own way of Catholic teaching. So instead of saying, we're in charge of the Catholic Church, you need to listen to us, he just kind of just gave in a way, China and Jinping or whatever stupid name is the keys to their church, their way of governing the Catholic Church. In other words, it's kind of like
it's like what King James did.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking. It's King James. Yeah.
Very Protestant. Very you know.
It's like, just call him that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just say you're no longer Catholic. Do your own Christianity thing.
So because of that, it created a lot of underground Catholic churches. So a lot of priests and a lot of people went literally underground and did mass without the Pope knowing. I'm sure the Pope knew.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
man.
They shouldn't be hiding doing
exactly.
that.
So, and like I said, he wanted a strong relationship with China, so that was part of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully this new Pope cuts that out. Hopefully he does, man. Yeah. He was also, another big thing about him was that he claimed all religions are equal.
Yeah.
That's Freemasonry.
Yeah.
That's what the Freemasons believe, dude. If you look it up, do your research. The Freemasons believe in one world religion, that all religions are equal, that all gods are equal, which is completely false.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hellish,
mm-hmm.
you know. There's only one true Catholic and Apostolic Church.
Yeah. I'm
gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna say it as it is. There's only one true Catholic and Apostolic Church. The Catholic Church is literally the church that Jesus himself created. He handed the keys to Peter, who became Saint Peter, who became the first pope. And from there, the keys passed on to the next pope, to the next pope, to the next pope, to the next pope, and to where we are now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Jesus himself even said, if you're not with me, you're against me. If you're not with us, you're against us.
Yes.
You know, so that should tell you everything. Jesus said it himself. It's in the Bible. And, yeah, so, I mean, the Pope Francis did a lot of damage. And he was also, you know, like popes before him. And I want to say this maybe started, you know, in the 60s when the Reformation, with the whole priests hiding the SA attacks. And I say SA for people who don't know SA. We can't say certain terms on YouTube, or our channel or our video will get taken down. So we have to say SA. Google what we're trying to say when we say SA assaults or attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So these priests and bishops that were doing these, like McCarrick, disgusting, devilish man. Pope Francis, McCarrick was actually one of Pope Francis' main guys. Yeah, he was one of his main head honchos.
Okay.
Right-hand man. And Pope Francis, and like other popes before him, were hiding these allegations. Now, some of them have happened, and it's disgusting, and it does not belong in the faith.
Mm-hmm.
Some are just allegations.
Yeah.
Some are just allegations. Like, a good example, our priest, Father Raul, here in Dinuba, he allegedly he touched somebody or whatever, right? Nothing really came out. Well, when it finally came out, he was already kicked out of the priesthood. He was kicked out of a lot of things. He was on the news as this priest who did this SA on this kid or whatever, tarnished his name, ruined his life.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it wasn't real.
Yeah, that it was fabricated.
It was a fabricated story. What happened was some kid was wearing headphones. He went over there, got the headphones, and took them off the kid.
Yes.
So the parents got pissed, and they were like, he touched my child.
And because once you just say that...
Yeah. So it was false allegations, and they ruined this man's life.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. And so that's probably what happens. A lot of these are probably just allegations. And so with this new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, hopefully he continues what Pope Leo XIII did. Now, while he was a bishop, he was one of the ones that kind of moved around priests, and that's the bad thing about this bishop. Hopefully he goes against that now and stops this bullcrap, this disgusting bullcrap. And who knows, maybe the priest that he moved around and tried to help, it was like Father Raul.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a Father Raul situation.
It was a false allegation.
False allegations. We don't know, man. Maybe there were false allegations. Haters of the church are going to be like, that's why I left the faith, and that's why we're not Catholic. Look at it this way, guys. SA attacks happen in schools. Are we going to shut down every school because of those one teacher? Are you going to have your kids stop going to school because of one teacher? Are all teachers predators? Think about it. Not all priests, bishops are predators. Mm. So that's why we don't leave our faith.
Yeah.
there's a civil war in between. There's evil and there's good within our church, and I want to be on. We're on the good side. We're on the traditional side. The bad side, we need to knock that out, and I hope this Pope Leo the 14th does that. Let's hope he cleans house, man.
And it's interesting that you say this.
I just hope to Lord Jesus Christ that he does.
And it's interesting that you say that, because there's, they leave the Catholic faith to go to other Christian, other non-denominational churches, and then it turns out that their sermons or their leaders end up doing stuff like that too, and it's like,
right. And so what are you gonna do? Stop going to church?
Exactly.
Like, some probably do. But that's the devil doing his work. He's attacking the church.
And that's the thing. And that's what you have to look at it too. You have to look at it that way, that evil searches to take down good.
Yep. And it has been for the last couple decades.
Yep, it's always been like that.
The popes aren't helping with that.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying, man. There's a lot of Freemasonry, and there's this book that I've been reading, and I haven't finished it, and shame on me for not finishing. I got it years ago. It's by Dr. Taylor Marshall. You should look him up on YouTube. Great man, great Catholic man. Infiltration, the plot to destroy the church from within, and it's happening. Read this book, great book. I'll let you borrow it once I'm done with it. We'll talk about it on our show. It talks about literally how there's Freemasonry, literally Freemasonry is infiltrating our church, and you could see it today.
Yeah.
And all these SA attacks are probably part of that Freemasonry attack. Look at it,
What's one more time? What's the book called again?
Infiltration by Dr. Taylor Marshall. The plot to destroy the church from within.
Okay.
Read that book, whether you're Catholic or not. Read that book. Please read that book, and watch Dr. Taylor Marshall on YouTube. Great man, smart man, intelligent man. There's another book out there that I need to buy that I haven't got, called the St. Gallen Mafia. Now, the St. Gallen Mafia are the ones who pushed out Pope Benedict and brought in their guy, Pope Francis.
Yeah.
They're Freemasons. The St. Gallen Mafia, look that up as well. That's a book I need to read. And I got to do more research on the St. Gallen Mafia.
And when we do, we'll have a video for it.
And there's proof of the St. Gallen Mafia doing its works in the Vatican because, again, one of Pope Francis' guys, I forgot his name, came out in an interview and mentioned that he's part of the St. Gallen Mafia.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's a mess, dude.
Oh, goodness
Pope
gracious.
Francis was a mess.
He was.
Anyways, we have this new Pope, and let's hope to the Lord Jesus Christ that he's the true vicar of Jesus himself. And that's another thing, too. Pope Francis didn't want to be called the vicar of Christ. Yeah,
but that's what you are.
I know. Hey, Freemasonry. He's a Freemason. Speaking of Freemasonry, bring up that picture with him and Pelosi.
All right.
So when you guys look at this handshake, zoom into that hand. I don't know if you can.
I probably can't really. Let me see.
Yeah. Supposedly, that's the Freemason handshake. That's a Freemasonry handshake right there.
Okay.
Yeah, look at their faces, man. Look at Pelosi. Look at her all happy and proud that she's shaking hands with this Freemason Pope. Look at him. Look at her. Disgusting. You can take that off.
All right.
Okay. So again, man, let's just hope Pope Leo the 14th is who we need and what we need in the Catholic Church and clean up the mess. Now, on the flip side of the popes, there's this guy who's come out on social media and on YouTube. He has his own YouTube channel. He calls himself the Abdallah, the Mahdi, the true Mahdi. Take for what you will with a grain of salt what this guy is. We'll watch a couple of videos. I'll show you. And I'll tell you what my input is on that guy, that figure. Have you seen these videos? I
haven't seen these videos at all. I've heard of the guy. Have not seen the videos.
Check it out.
Okay.
It's self-explanatory in these videos what he's all about. You can maximize it. Maximize it first.
Okay.
Volume's up. All right. Do it. Okay. 2 videos. What are you doing? Go back.
I pressed 3 and it went like.
I am Abdullah, the successor of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, the successor of the Comforter Ahmed, the successor of Simon Peter, the successor of Muhammad, the successor of Jesus Christ. I am the true and legitimate Pope. I am the proof upon the Christians. I am the son of the Muslims through my father, and the son of the Christians and the Jews through my mother. I am the son of the East through my father, and the son of the West through my mother. I am like Zulkarnain, who with one horn in the East and one in the West, and I am the inheritor of all that lies between. I am more knowledgeable than any false pope, and I am appointed by name and the will of the prophets. My name is also on the tongue of Isaiah, who prophesied of the righteous servant, and he said, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand.
Okay. Now, go to the second video.
O Christians in the East and the West, hear me and obey. I am a messenger sent to you from Jesus Christ, alayhi salam. Paul is false and led you astray. The church is corrupt and no longer upholds the law of God, nor does it defend the oppressed. The papacy has been stolen and the rightful heir has been pushed aside. There is no one else but me that you are obliged to obey. May God be a witness that I have proclaimed. I am Abdullah, the successor of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, the successor.
Okay, go back to this.
I can exit the whole thing.
Okay. So, what did you think, man? What a jackass, right?
Who does this guy think he is?
I don't know. So
okay,
I've looked, and he's had his own YouTube channel for the last few years, but he's become popular because the Pope passed away, and he's claiming that he's the true new Pope.
Okay.
There's another video. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention because I was looking on my phone. Did he mention that he's not the Antichrist?
No, I don't.
Okay,
think
so a lot of people were coming out saying, "This is the Antichrist. This is the Antichrist." He came out and said, "I am not the Antichrist. I'm this. I'm that." What he was basically saying, right?
Yeah.
From the looks of it, it's a freaking cult. I mean, look at the
people.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Here, let me give you two sides of this coin, right? This guy could either really be the Antichrist, he could really be the devil's spawn, work for the devil. He could be just a demon. These people could all be demons, the ones following him. Maybe they're brainwashed. They're worshiping the devil themselves. This could be a legit guy on the rise and people falling into this cult of his.
Yeah.
And really thinking he is the second coming of Jesus, Peter, whatever, da-da-da-da-da. Which is dangerous and scary. On the flip side of that, this could just be a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
He could just literally just be doing this for clout. There's interviews of him. You can watch him. He's wearing that stupid beanie of his. And there's interviews of him. Guys, watch him. Look him up. Just don't fall for his bullshit. Excuse my language, but it's bullshit. And he sounds like he's full of crap in his interviews. In a way, you know what this reminds me of? Those videos and when you watch his interviews and who he is. You remember in Iron Man 3?
Which character are you speaking of?
Ben Kingsley.
Okay, yeah.
What's his name?
The Mandarin.
The Mandarin. Doesn't it kind of remind you of the Mandarin? So how do we know there's really nobody behind him that's actually the Antichrist, and this guy's just the guy that they threw in the front, an actor, a dipwad? That's what it reminds me of. In Iron Man 3, he reminds me of the Mandarin.
It's all the black silhouette.
Doesn't it kind of... And those people go... They could all be paid actors. He could be...
Yeah.
This could be a bunch of BS, and those are paid actors, and maybe he's just doing this for fun. There's two sides to this.
Maybe he's watching this video right now, laughing his butt off.
Yeah. So who knows, man? I mean, I can't take him serious. At the same time, maybe we should take him serious because this could be an actual thing, an actual cult on the rise.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
It's like the in between. Like you want to make a joke of it, but what if he actually
believes his own BS?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if he is what people are like, what people are thinking, that if he is the Antichrist, it's kind of like because they say the Antichrist will grant a huge miracle.
Right. You know? Well, there's these videos on YouTube too where they're talking to people in his cult, individual videos, and they're like he got rid of the sun, he got rid of the moon, was lady. He healed people, he's performed many miracles. Yeah.
Okay.
But they all look like paid actors, bro. It is the stupidest thing, man.
Okay.
It is ridiculously stupid.
All right.
So I don't know. You guys take that what you just seen, what it is. Do your own research on this guy. Just don't fall for the BS and don't join that cult. That's all I'm gonna let you guys know.
Be careful out
there.
Just
be very careful. Don't get brainwashed. Don't be stupid and don't get brainwashed. Okay. On that note, I'll end this segment. God bless. Peace.
See you later.